All right. The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of ESPN Tucson 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, or the Arizona Lotus Corporation.
Spears and Ali, weekday morning 7 to 9 on 1490 AM, 94.9 HD4 ESPN Tucson.
Time, they pulled off the shot. We're going to overtime. And Mr. Packer, you're quite prophetic.
What up? Welcome to Spears and Ali Overtime. I believe this is the first one of 2024.
It is. It is. And the first one that we're recording live as far as video.
We are on video.
Yeah, look at our beautiful faces.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could see us.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. Justin and I look great.
I'm like 2 out of 3. Andrew and I both look at each other. Spears and Ali, we are on Apple, Spotify, other podcasting platforms. And here moving forward, we're also going to be on YouTube. And we're going to be streaming live. We're also going to just have the video posted on those platforms. And I don't know about you, Ali, but I watch a lot of podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm cleaning the house. Just throw on YouTube, listen to Cat Williams, Ether, every comedian under the sun. And it's a very useful platform. I use YouTube a lot. I watch a lot of podcasts on there. And you know what? It's about damn time that we got on these platforms.
I agree. And thanks for Andrew Trujillo really making this happen.
Yeah.
Without Andrew, it wouldn't have happened. So I'm thinking, I'm a big fan of the Pat McAfee show when he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers on. And I love this guy. He was a great football player for the Packers. But should I just do AJ Hawk when we do video and just
sit there,
just let you talk
and not do a damn thing?
Let our guests do their thing and rant, and I just throw in like Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Oh no,
buddy, I love you, but I don't want to see you in a tank top.
Oh come on.
No.
He's come in one before, hasn't he?
Has he really?
I think he has. I think he's come in a Lakers jersey once or twice.
He talks about puka shells way too much to not
does.
have puka shells and wear tank tops.
You must. You have to have one in a sock drawer somewhere, right?
I got a pair of puka shells.
No,
A
a necklace.
a necklace of puka shells.
Yeah. What do you call more than one necklace? Necklaces?
Necklie?
Necklie.
Can I switch? Oh,
I
can. Oh, now we're rolling.
Oh, beautiful.
Now I
man.
like this layout.
Spears and Ali.
Yeah. Well, and now it doesn't look like you guys are looking out into the opposite sides of the room when you're talking to each other.
Oh, looking like
we're talking to each other.
like we're the
Yeah.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking up.
This whole video thing's wild. I like it.
Favorite Brady, go.
Wayne Brady. Tom Brady.
I mean, that was a meatball down the center. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right.
Who's your favorite Brady?
I was gonna go with Marsha, but
Marsha.
yeah.
All right, man.
We all had a crush on Marsha early on.
I didn't.
She's a beautiful woman.
Handsome.
Handsome
you will.
woman. Handsome woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so Spears and Ali Overtime is the extra episode of Spears and Ali that is not live on ESPN Tucson. And we just talk about a number of things, whatever it is that's happening in the world of sports, that's happening in our lives. One of my favorite episodes, if not the favorite episode that we've done for Spears and Ali Overtime, is Ali talking about his trip to the Middle East, going over following the Arizona basketball team, being a part of their journey and their travels. It's always nice to hear about experiences outside of the United States and being humbled in a lot of ways and experiencing things that just you're not accustomed to. And it's a once in a lifetime trip that you're going to remember every single detail. So hearing you recall your trip and talk about your travels was definitely my favorite Spears and Ali Overtime.
Yeah, and it was a good year for travels, man. I mean, between going to Colombia for a couple weeks and 11 days with Arizona basketball in Israel and Abu Dhabi was awesome. It was a really, those trips that make a meaningful difference in your life, maybe change your perspective on some things a little bit, because you actually see some things live. And, when I see what's happening in the Middle East now in Israel, I mean, and just being there a month earlier and driving a bus through a lot of those cities that bordered Gaza and Israel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you just wonder, because whether it was Christians, Muslims, Jews, I mean, to a person, it was like about peace and coexistence and, showing respect and learning, like I said, how to live with each other. And man, every area, there's a mosque, there's a church, and there's a synagogue, and they're not segregated. They're all right there next to each other.
Yeah.
Everywhere. They're just right there next to each other. I don't know. It definitely provides. I think it's good for people. I'm a fortunate person, and my parents really had me travel a lot with them. And then, when I went to college, I got to go travel abroad and study abroad. I went to school at Cambridge when I was in law school. Those things I think are meaningful and matter. And like I said, I think kind of broadens your horizons a little bit. But that being said, what do you think about the coaching vacancies in the NFL?
Segues are hard, man. I tell you what.
Oh, man. I'm a little bit.
Speaking of conflict in the Middle East, what do you think about the conflict in the AFC East with Bill Belichick and Bob Kraft?
I think it's time, man. I think it's time for them to call it a day and move on and look for the next regime that's also still connected to the past. You still want to be able to have those connections to the dynasty, but do it with a modern twist. And I think that the coaches that are available right now, Mike Vrabel, I think it just makes way too much sense for New England. And he's a really good coach. I mean, he was a 2021 NFL Coach of the Year, took the Tennessee Titans with Ryan Tannehill to the NFL playoffs. Now, I get it. Derrick Henry, King Henry, one of the elite rushers. I mean, you want to talk about, essentially last of a dying breed. How many running backs are we going to see in the future put up the kind of rushing numbers that Derrick Henry has? All-purpose yards, Bijan Robinson, he's going to be like the next great thing at the running back position.
Depends,
but just,
man. There's the next Atlanta Falcon coach can actually use him.
Play him.
Yeah. I mean, Arthur Smith was like, how come you're not playing Bijan, your best player on offense? Because they're never going to see it coming.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, I zag when everybody else zigs. Everybody's expecting me to give the ball to the best player, most dynamic, explosive player on the offensive end.
The man who's going to change the running back position forever.
The guy that could help us win games. Everybody's expecting that. So I am not going to give him the ball. Genius. I think that mustache he was wearing made him stupid. And by the way, on Monday, you're like Arthur Smith, like really inconsistent as a head coach. The three seasons Atlanta where he's been at the helm, they've been 7-10. I think he was very consistent.
Consistent at being mediocre.
7-10, 3 years in a row. That's the epitome of consistency.
Mm-hmm.
That's sucky consistency, but it's still consistency.
Now, if Mike Vrabel goes to the New England Patriots, who's going to be his offensive coordinator? Because Arthur Smith, he essentially got an NFL job as a head coach because of the job he did as offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans.
I can see those guys reuniting. That's actually a really good call by you. And, ultimately in New England, as it is with most organizations, who's the guy what is the general manager? What do they look like? And who's the scouts, and how are they selecting players? And are they good at selecting players? Because really New England's downfall is not just that Tom Brady left, but that's big because, again, as we noted, Bill Belichick has coached 10 seasons in the NFL without Tom Brady. 8 of those he's had a losing record.
Yeah.
All right. But New England used to draft really well. I mean, I used to watch New England drafts, be like, I wanted that guy for the Steelers. I wanted that guy for the Steelers. This was New England and Baltimore. And now it's just really Baltimore. Since Scott Pioli left New England, and Bill Belichick really took a bigger control over who they selected in the draft and scouting. The drafts of the Patriots have been absolutely horrendous. I mean, some may call them shitty. I would be one of those people. And they have a dearth of talent on that team. And from a development standpoint, I mean, Mac Jones, his first year was like, this guy could be an okay starting quarterback in the NFL. And what did he do? He made Matt Patricia and
A defensive coordinator.
and Joe Judge, a special teams coach, the co-offensive coordinators. And ever since then, man, Mac Jones looks like, and that's abuse, quarterback abuse. Like when David Carr came into the league with the Houston Texans and they put 5 Pop Warner offensive linemen out there for him, and he just got bludgeoned to death. I think he got sacked like 100 times.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to put your players in a position to succeed. And Bill Belichick, while he knows a lot of football, and when he starts really talking about the history of the game and gets really hyper technical about football, I love listening to him. From a management standpoint, I don't see him staying in New England unless he's willing to accept the fact that somebody else is going to be selecting the players and he's going to be reporting to somebody else. I don't know if his ego will allow him to do that, but there may be an organization out there that may let him do that, whether it's the LA Chargers or the Washington Commanders may allow that. I mean, think about like the Carolina Panthers. I mean, that team is in total disarray.
Yeah.
If David Tepper, the owner of the Panthers, who has, by the way, taken the mantle of the shittiest owner in the NFL from Daniel Snyder, now that Snyder's no longer an owner, it's David Tepper now. It fucking sucks owner in the NFL.
That guy's the worst.
But if he can introduce Bill Belichick as the coach, it'll at least give some life to that organization. Whether it works out or not, who knows? But
didn't Carolina just fire their GM?
Yeah. Fired GM and coach.
That's crazy.
And the thing is, Frank Reich really kind of commented on it. And this is, you guys people ask, why am I a Steelers fan? Like, you were born in Tucson. How are you such a loyal, fervent Steelers fan? And it's like, well, I started liking Mean Joe Green. Then I just liked the team. And then I got to know how the organization works. And then I got to really know the Rooneys. I mean, when I was in Indianapolis on that U of A basketball trip and the Steelers were at our hotel, the person I wanted that walked by me that I was too nervous to go talk to, that I really wanted to say hi to, was Art Rooney, the owner. I mean, the way that organization's run from the top, it matters, right?
That was like seeing like God to you, wasn't it?
It was like this is the guy that, like, from a culture standpoint, from a leadership standpoint, from a organizational standpoint, you never see Art Rooney on the sidelines during a game, do you? They never show if they show a picture of him, it's like in the booth.
Yeah.
And they rarely do that. Now think about how many owners are standing on the sidelines at the end of games.
Think about how many owners are doing post-game interviews.
Exactly.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Art Rooney does one interview a year.
Exit interviews.
At the end of the year, he'll give a state of the Steelers. Like, this is where we were. This is what I think of our season. This is where we're going in the future. And, Mike Tomlin is the face of that organization, and that's the way it should be. And he lets him coach, and he lets him select his coaches. Now, those guys meet periodically and bounce things up, but it's collaborative. And David Tepper, from listening to Frank Reich, the guy that was fired from Carolina as the head coach, telling Frank Reich what to do. And it was like, that's nonsensical. You might be really good at business. You might have made $1 billion selling, widgets, but you don't know dick about football.
Yeah.
That's why you hire football guys.
And why are you hiring him if you're just telling him what to do?
Right.
Why not you just be the coach?
So what's your yearly tradition then, Ali, for watching the Art Rooney State of the Steelers interview? Do you make like a turkey or like get a pizza?
No, nothing like that. I just make sure I wear the same Steelers gear that I wear every day of the year, and knock 4 times. And no, I just watch it on.
But you do watch it,
of course. Of course.
He's
a very, just like his father, Dan, before him, and Art Rooney Sr. before him. I mean, the Steelers started in 1933 from Art Rooney Sr. winning at the horse track. He won like $30,000 at the horse track and used that money to buy the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, that's truly a family-run business. They live in the same neighborhood that they grew up in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
They don't live in isolated mansions. They live right in the heart of Pittsburgh. I mean, it's truly, I don't know how to fully articulate it, but it's truly a community team. It's truly run by community leaders. And it's about, in a lot of ways, it's about more than just football. And the way they run that organization, I'm going to tell you, Andrew, that's the way I take a lot of tips and study a lot of it on how to run our law firm. Same way, So anyway, I think that you gotta just like a player gets drafted into a team, whether it's the NBA or the NFL, where you land makes a big difference. And where you land organizationally, if they have a good support system and they are run the right way, you have a better chance of success.
I just noticed what Justin's doing.
Is he doing the AJ Hawk? Let me tell you.
I love that you guys caught on to that.
Let me tell you my quote. Yeah. So anyway, that's my little soliloquy on organizations, and I think that where a coach goes is going to matter too. I mean, Bob Kraft has showed for New England that he'll let the football people make decisions. At least it appears so.
Yeah.
So that's a good landing spot. Will the Spanos do that with the Chargers, depending on who they bring in? And I think his name is Josh Harris, the new owner of the Commanders. But if I'm a guy that's on the come, like I'm desired as to be a head coach somewhere. It's a craps reference.
Pause.
Get your head out of the gutter. Why would you coach in Carolina?
Yeah. When you look at how the owner treats people, and you also realize that you're on a short leash. Like, if I don't turn things around quick, I'm going to be out of here in less than a year. So really, what is the point? And I heard that David Tepper is also like that with some soccer teams. He owns some soccer teams in Carolina as well. And the soccer teams don't perform well, gets the coaches out of there. He's a very cutthroat individual. And my only, I guess, gripe or complaint about David Tepper and how he handles things is that this man is a billionaire. Do you think that he was handed billions of dollars just one day? His company, the reason why he's a billionaire, it was a very long process. You had to believe in that process. And even when people told you that you're wrong, you had to believe in yourself and what you were trying to accomplish. I just wish that he would have that same approach with head coaches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, what's ironic was he was a minority owner of the Steelers. He learned nothing.
Didn't take notes.
He obviously learned nothing. He's the I know it all kind of guy, and
he's the Anakin Skywalker of the Steelers.
Well, I mean,
sure,
he didn't have any say, I guess, but
Justin has no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. With all due respect.
With all due respect, yes. We want to see a podcast or a whatever video. What is this called? A video cast?
Sure.
All right,
video stream where I really look like AJ Hawk.
Video stream of Justin where he doesn't talk. Let's talk about Star Wars.
Go for it.
Yeah, or anything after the 5th episode of House of Dragons.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
New
House of Dragons coming.
I still haven't seen a single episode of either show. I'm still reading the books.
I'm on season 2, man.
You got to season
I'm
2?
on season 2, like episode 5.
You are?
Yeah, that's I'm at the part where the Dothraki, they go into Koth.
Nice.
And then it's a really good show.
I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Season 3 is the one we need to watch, right, with him, right?
I don't know the progression of the show, but book 3 is easily the craziest book, I think.
Let's see.
Because you get the Red Wedding in season 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to know. Let's see, Red Wedding,
which is crazy. If you have no idea of anything of the lore, like the Red Wedding is insane. Reading that part in the book is wild. The way it's written is crazy.
And the characters that you think are going to be around for a while end up getting
all right.
Killed
So
off.
You're in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's talk when you get into season 3. Season 3, episode 9.
Okay.
There's the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. I just got to the part where Dothraki, they went to Koth and they're just kind of settling in there.
Mm-hmm.
Stark got killed as well.
Yeah.
That happened like episode 1.
It happened in the first season. I'm like, wait, hold on a second.
I know you're thinking this is like a main character.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, they just killed him.
Yeah.
To be fair, he is played by Sean Bean, isn't he?
I think so.
Sean Bean always dies.
And what's crazy is, like, I thought, okay, main character, he's going to be around for a while. Even though they're threatening his life, the little girl's going to come out. Someone's going to come in and save him.
Yeah.
And nope, gets decapitated.
Gank him with his own sword.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's
a very interesting show.
It's a show. It's yeah, it's kind of like that. Like when you're like, hey, I got cast to Game of Thrones. Sweet.
Over under 6 episodes.
Yeah. It's like the guy in Star Trek is like, hey, congratulations, you're on the cast of Star Trek. Thank you. Here's your red shirt.
Here's your red
Oh
shirt.
no. No.
What? That's the thing?
That's the thing. The guy in the red shirt always dies at Star Trek. Except for Scotty.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, Game of Thrones is a wildly entertaining show. And I'm glad that now I have some time to lock in and really, really watch the show.
Yeah. Good for you, man. We're always promoting watching more TV and not being productive. But you know what?
At least for Justin, frankly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like an hour, everything in moderation,
Yeah.
right? Justin, everything in moderation.
Yep.
Right? Including the toast at Cane's.
Yes. But it's so good.
Ooh, I heard a story of a guy that ordered 51 sides of toast with his Cane's meal, and they watched him sit there and eat them all. That's a lot of toast.
What a legend.
Yeah.
And also,
but he just had the same amount of chicken fingers?
I guess it's just like all I saw was the guy ordered 51 sides of toast, and they're like, yeah, we've never seen anything like it.
And
like,
then he
ate it all.
had congestive heart failure afterwards, or what?
I mean, I'm guessing that dude, let's just say he rides a cart when he goes to the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
It had to be, right?
one of those guys.
That guy's like $4 bills.
$4 bills.
And like the unkept beard, right?
Yeah.
$4
Good
bills.
Lord.
4 bills.
51 pieces of toast.
Yeah.
I bet you buttered both sides too.
They call it Bob, right?
Butter on both?
Yeah, butter on both sides. Butter on both. Bob. Toast Bob. Yeah, I learned all the lingo at Raising Cane's after going there for so many years.
They're like, sir, frankly, your order is too long. Here are all the acronyms.
Yeah, give me the 6-piece meal, no coleslaw, 3 pieces extra of toast, and Bob those sons of bitches.
Yeah, Bob.
They're like, yeah, all right.
Bob them bitches.
Justin just rolls up with a QR code and they scan it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, okay, that'll be.
I'm afraid our guy walks into the door and they're like, hey, Justin.
Hey, Jay.
There he is.
He's like Norman Shears.
Yeah.
They already know what he's
even
ordering.
even at a Cane's that he's never been to before in his life. This is the guy. This is the guy we had the picture of back in the kitchen.
Oh.
I mean, I can't front. I love Cane's so much.
Cane's on Speedway and Country Club, where everybody knows your name. Justin!
Yeah. What would you say to a beer, Norm?
It's so good. So good. I actually haven't had Raising Cane's in a while.
Good.
It's been a
Moderation.
a
is
long,
what
long
I'm talking
time.
about. Moderation. So those things are okay every once in a while.
It's also expensive now.
It is.
Yeah.
I haven't had it in a
Honestly,
minute.
to be honest with you, Ollie, that's a big reason why I don't go, is because what I order is a Caniac. Caniacs for like $20 now.
What's a Caniac?
It's got 6 tenders, fries, and a drink.
And
the toast.
The toast. And the slaw.
Yeah.
The Justin subs.
That costs $20 now.
Yeah.
Damn near.
And it used to cost like 11, 12.
I know. Damn those workers making livable wages.
Inflation.
Mm.
Price of chicken going up.
Yeah. Also,
Workers.
yeah, man.
Got to get fairly compensated.
Is it okay? Is it okay that they can actually have a job and like actually buy their own canes?
Well, we'll be open 24/7 then.
They basically already are.
Yeah, I say the one Raising Cane's closes at like 3 a.m. Right?
And then they open back up at like 9.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't know who's ordering fried chicken at 9 a.m. But,
Somebody
good
is.
for them.
How do you
I don't
guys know this? How do you know that like there's one
You,
location?
you see it on their, they have their schedules like on their sign, like as you pass them.
Huh.
Yeah.
There was
I
one
thought that
time
was weird.
after a dentist appointment, I went to Raising Cane's at like 10 a.m.
I feel like that's the same as like having like biscuits and gravy in the morning. Like I like biscuits and gravy, but I feel like if you have that in the morning for breakfast, you're not getting anything done the rest of the day.
No.
Let me just have some raw cement for breakfast.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Anything you're watching on TV?
Am
I know we've all been pretty busy.
Man.
Yeah, I'm
actually
watching
have
this show. I really like it. It's on Apple. It's called Monarch.
I've heard of that.
And it's basically the Monarch is the company that's tracking all the Titans like Godzilla. And it goes through when they were first discovered to like present day. And fairly entertaining. I just finished the new season of Slow Horses, which is also a really good show on Apple.
Slow horses.
Yeah, it's about
More of a BoJack Horseman guy.
it's about like it's MI5 in Britain, in England, but it's like the rejects of MI5. They call them slow horses, and they're in their own area. But it's funny. They're the ones always solving everything. I don't know why they're the rejects, but really good. And then I think that's it. For All Mankind on Apple. Basically, the premise of that is what would have happened if the Russians got to the moon before the United States. And actually, would that have allowed like space exploration to be more, for our country to have invested more into space exploration? Would we be further along now than we are in space exploration had the Russians beat us to the moon?
We would have taken an L and taken that personally.
Yeah.
And then.
So that's basically what happened. So right now there's a colony in Mars in present day.
Wow. So if the Russians faked the moon landing before us.
Come on.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not that guy.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know people who think that the
moon
landing was fake?
No, because I try to hang out with fairly intelligent, educated people. But there may be a few that don't say it out loud.
Right.
Maybe. But no, I don't know. I mean, I loved, did you see that story last week about the mall in Miami and all those people running and they were like aliens? And this police officer got on his phone and like posted it. And he's like, y'all got to just stop. All right. This is fucking ridiculous. All right. I was on the scene. There's no aliens. It was a bunch of teenagers and basically causing a disturbance and acting like idiots. And they called us onto the scene. And what you saw them was the police showing up. And what do kids do when they're acting a fool and cops show up? They run away. You all need to stop this. There were no aliens at the mall.
Sounds like,
which is exactly what somebody trying to cover up aliens at the mall would say. I know, Justin, that's what you're going to say.
Full Men in Black.
I know, but no.
There are a lot of reasons why the aliens haven't shown up yet, dude. They do not want to talk to us.
No. They saw a bunch of people doing TikTok dances. They saw people going absolutely bonkers for Stanley Cups that are not related to hockey inside Target.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Las Vegas Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah. Were those like Starbucks little Stanley Cups?
Yeah.
Like, were they commemorative or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That dude tried to like basically run over a guy like a fullback when he got to the door. And everybody all I heard was, I'm like, is this guy Frankenstein? Because all I heard was, get him! Get him! And everybody's, I mean, you think of a coffee shop. Is that the number one place you're thinking violence is going to occur? Not to me.
Yeah.
Right. There are a lot of hipster doofuses there. Right. The hipster doofuses, man, and I think what the problem was, he didn't go into a Starbucks, which is pure hipster doofus.
Uh-huh.
He went into a Starbucks in Target. And then you get kind of a cross section, and there's some people in there. So I'm not sure that he got tackled by Starbucks people or the Target people. I'm thinking, look, if I'm drafting for my defense, I'm taking a Target person.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
100%.
Defensive line, definitely Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you want big bodies.
800%.
Yeah.
So, okay. if we're developing a football team, or if we're drafting players, depending on where they shop.
No, depending on where they work.
Work or shop.
Work. Okay.
It wasn't workers. This was all patrons. Tackled this dude.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So defensive line, Walmart.
Yeah. Offensive and defensive line. Yeah. I mean, that's basically you're going to heartland of America.
Yeah. You want those guards coming out of those big stores.
Yeah. You're getting Iowa size linemen.
Yeah.
Okay. In Walmart. Now you got to have depth because they're not going to be able to play a lot of consecutive plays.
No.
But the stamina may not be there.
Yeah.
But they can plug up a hole.
But what's another Walmart type of store that you can go draft some gritty linemen?
I mean, based on what I saw, lineman, another Walmart kind of store.
Ross?
Yeah, maybe the dollar store. Dollar.
Kmart.
Food City.
Food City.
Yeah.
Yeah, Food City.
Is it weird that
Maybe.
I've thought about this?
Big lots.
Big lots.
Big lots.
Yes.
Yes.
Big lots, big linemen.
Yep.
That's what it translates
Yeah.
to.
So you're good in the trenches if you go to those places. Now
Yeah.
you got to find the skilled people, right? Your receivers, your running
Yeah.
backs, quarterback. Now, what kind of offense are you running? You're
Quarterback's
running-
definitely rolling out of Best Buy, right?
I'm thinking the quarterback's out of Best Buy,
Yeah.
right? Best Buy or, surprisingly, every once in a while, maybe Ace Hardware, right?
Totally.
Somebody that knows what they're doing,
100%,
going
yeah.
in Ace Hardware.
Yeah. I feel like you might get, I don't know, like a good backup from Ace,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A Joe Flacco type from Ace
Yeah,
Hardware.
exactly.
I'm getting my fullbacks and tight ends from Home Depot.
Okay.
If I have a little bit more of a spread offense where it's more finesse and less power, I'll go to Lowe's.
Sure.
You know,
Are you going to the garden section to get any players, even though they're coming from Home Depot? Is that where you get like your kick returners?
I don't know, man. I
Maybe.
mean, I think that's like, if you've got like a skill position person and you're interviewing them and they've got like a, what do they call it? Like a service dog,
Mhm.
right? What is it? The dogs that make you feel better.
Oh, emotional support animals.
Emotional
Yeah.
support. I mean, you're like, I'm cool that you got that. Do I want you playing middle linebacker for me?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of feeling that might be the garden section. I might
Yeah.
come across something like that. I'm looking like, if you want a really good lineman, or I'm sorry, tight end or a fullback, look, who's handling the lumber, right?
Yeah.
Who's in the
Yeah.
lumber section
Mhm.
or power tools? This is absolutely fucking stupid.
Where are you getting your
discussion.
secondary from?
Yeah, I was say, what about secondary linebackers?
I don't know. I think you got to go past the Walmarts, past the Home Depots, past the Lowe's.
Target?
Bed Bath and Beyond is not a thing anymore. Target, maybe, yeah. You might be able to find a few at Whole Foods, right?
Maybe.
Because
You
the
gotta have-
receivers are divas, right? And those of us who shop at AJ's or Whole Foods,
Yeah.
I was gonna say AJ's is where I'm getting my skill players.
AJ's.
yeah, AJ's, yeah. It's in La Encantada.
Oh.
The
It's
best
good, man.
the best apples come from AJ's.
Yeah,
And this is not like a paid endorsement by any means.
yeah.
Fair enough.
And I might, I think we'd be remiss not to throw in Costco here,
Oh yeah.
right? I think Costco.
That's where you get your linebackers.
The thing about Costco
Yeah.
is really whatever you want. They've got something,
Yeah.
and they've got a lot of something. So, am I filling up my entire practice squad from Costco? Yeah, they've got a practice squad pack.
Yeah.
I can just go pick one pack of 16 practice squad players
Mhm.
instead of going one by one. They're all right there.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I feel like kickers are coming out of Total Wine.
Bevmo.
Yeah. Or Trader Joe's.
Yeah. I mean,
Punter
sounds
out of
good.
Trader Joe's.
What
Right?
about Publix
Huh.
or like Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's, I feel they got a lot of everything too. I feel like that's a Costco type place.
Yeah. It's like Costco and Quick Trip put together.
Yeah.
That's where I'll get that's where you get your linebackers because it's only from Texas. It's only in Texas, Buc-ee's.
Maybe.
So
Mhm.
if you get some linebackers out of Texas, you got some studs on your team. So for linebackers, you got to go to Buc-ee's.
yeah, you might get your special teams guys out of Quick Trip too.
Yeah.
Kind of in and out.
Mhm.
And maybe grab a taquito on the way.
Yep.
Those taquitos are delicious.
What a
feel it.
silly conversation.
Yeah.
I love it. I think this is great.
All right. Now, real quick, before we get out of here, you could choose any animal to have on your football team. Any animal. Who are you drafting?
I think it's I feel like you got to go ostrich
Explain.
because those fuckers are ruthless, frankly, and that you let them loose on anything that they don't like, and they're gonna make them feel it. They may not, you're not gonna get the tackles, but you're gonna wear a team down with an ostrich.
All right.
I'm going gorilla. Gorilla, you could put him anywhere. You could put him on the D line, coming off the edge, put him at linebacker. You can have him as a kick returner. Good luck trying to bring that guy down, especially at full speed, too. I mean, gorilla and grizzly bears. People sleep on how fast grizzly bears can really go. I mean, those fuckers can go like 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Um,
You can try climbing that tree, but he's going to climb it faster than you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, gorillas.
Is it true if you're running from a bear, you should try to run downhill? Is that a thing? Or is that an
I've
urban
never
myth?
run from a bear, so I'm not sure.
I thought it was just you look at them and try to make yourself as big as possible.
Well, I
Yeah.
always heard that you just
And
have
you
to run faster than the guy next to you.
Yeah.
And then you yell at the top of your lungs.
I would love to.
Ah!
A grizzly bear's coming at you, and you're like, okay, stand my ground and get big.
Yeah.
Dude, that takes
I heard
a lot of fucking balls, right?
yeah.
before you get attacked by a shark, a shark is coming towards you. I heard like if you like punch the nose,
Yeah.
then the shark will be like, okay, it's not a seal.
Yeah.
Let me go away.
See, this is why I hate the ocean.
Why?
Because shark. Are you kidding me? There are so many things in the ocean. That is not my realm. That is their realm,
Yeah.
and things are bigger than me. And I'm gonna let them have it.
I'm going to ask you guys something about the ocean. By the way, my answer I think is hippo, because
Yo, that's a good answer.
those you can put it anywhere. It's nasty. Try tackling one of those things. It will take you down.
Great
That's what I'm
motor.
saying. Maybe you put the ostrich at running back.
Yeah.
Because
Not cheetah.
you're
huh?
not catching it. No,
Yeah.
no, because you can fall on a cheetah.
Yeah.
If you
Kangaroo.
get lucky, you can
How
fall
about
on
a
a cheetah.
kangaroo?
Nah, they're not quick enough. I don't think.
Mm.
An ostrich, like they're slippery. That's what I'm going for. You're never gonna bring down an ostrich. You ever seen someone try to like wrestle an ostrich into like a cage or something?
I've seen emus.
Ain't happening.
I have to tell you, I have not. But
Look up videos.
I
It's
will.
entertaining.
so I got this thing with my kids, and they make fun of me all the time.
Mhm.
But
That's because you're a dad.
I feel like I'm right.
Okay.
All right. So you're on the beach.
Yes.
You see a tidal wave coming.
Okay. Like a 40-footer, or like what are we talking?
Like Poseidon.
We're talking like end of the world type tidal wave.
No, not end of the world, but it's definitely like
Like the beach will be underwater very shortly.
exactly.
Okay.
And maybe 10 miles inland too.
Oh, okay. Wow.
All right.
Okay. How is that not end of the world? Keep going. 10 miles.
There's water, right? I don't know.
Holy shit.
I submit the best move is to run as fast as you can towards the tidal wave and just try to ride it over instead
Just
of
get
running
sucked
away.
straight up.
Because you just, like when you're on an ocean,
I just
like you ride the wave, right?
I just imagine Ollie sprinting at the wave, and all you hear is a
No,
song of "Oh, the guitar solo, and him just like
Not even. It'd be like the.
wipe out.
I mean, do I want to wait for the wave to crash on me, or do I want to sprint on it and get in and just, bob above it?
You're gonna body surf a tidal wave?
Not body surf it. I'm like gonna try to pass it.
You're gonna
Gotta-
dive through it, like you do if there's a big wave coming when you're at the beach.
Yeah, but if I get in it, won't I just like be buoyant and like just go over it like I would a regular wave?
The wave that stretches across 10 miles.
As long
you'd
as
have
it gets
to-
inland.
you'd have to rock up a ways, my friend.
I know, and that's the key, right? You got to get there before it crashes on you. I get it. And then as it starts cresting, you need to swim in the middle of it and then come out on the other side. I think I'm right. Pretty sure I'm right here.
I mean, I guess you'd probably land on a building though.
Well, the undertow would be a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you might get sucked out into you might be in Japan when it's done.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one, Chief. Granted, I don't know that there's a better plan. So, I mean, if I saw a tidal wave that I was like, yeah, that's taking out the entire western seaboard, I might just run at it just to see what happens. Because there's no, you're not getting away, right? There's no way.
I'm going to the closest restaurant. I'm getting as much food as possible. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy my last meal.
You
on
got
Earth.
40 seconds.
How many chicken wings can he eat?
That's also, I feel like it's valid anything at that point. I'd be like, you know what? 2 margaritas, just 2 shots of tequila right now.
And that's
I want to at least not feel it.
Like the guy in Jurassic World with the
Yeah,
margaritas.
exactly. That dude's a hero. That guy's a hero. If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch Jurassic World and look for the guy when all the dinosaurs attacked, saving his drinks.
He's got the margaritas.
Those are $30 drinks, damn it.
grab a bottle of vodka. Just,
Pretty much.
I mean, wouldn't you
Kiss the nearest woman, you know?
That's
kinda-
what I. That's
yeah.
See, it'd be like ma'am, Ali, Gretchen, nice to meet you.
Gretchen.
We're gonna die.
You're gonna make out with Tristan's girlfriend. That's a deep cut on Spears and Ali joke.
I have 40 seconds.
Yeah.
We can do more to make out.
We got 40 seconds.
And then he's running for the wave.
And then I'm running.
I only need 20.
I'm running for. Come with me.
Hail Mary.
I look on my kid's face when we're like in Santa La Jolla and I'm like, we're on the beach and I'm like, okay, now kids, if there's a tidal wave, what we're going to do, we're going to run towards it. And they're like, what? That's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm like, why?
I feel like you got a better chance though. Maybe.
It's not totally outrageous.
It's not.
I mean, head for the tallest building. Yeah, that might be a good idea too. Better than the chicken wings. Better than running towards the wave. Better than talking to a woman you don't know. But I don't know. Something about it. I've watched a lot of Leonard Nimoy In Search Of, where they do tidal waves. They used to scare the bejesus out of me. And I'm like, you see them, like they would show it, like in Hawaii, it happened in this year, and they see the wave, and you see those idiot surfers that'd be like, oh, we're gonna ride the greatest wave of our life. And they're on there and they all go over. If they don't try to surf it, they all go over the wave. I'm like, well, wouldn't I just try to grab a board and sprint out and try to just.
Do they make it though?
Oh no, most of them die.
Okay.
I don't think they've ever. I don't know if one has made it, but they try to surf it.
And you, with hardly any surfing experience,
will not surf it. I'll just use the board to just.
So you're grabbing
gracefully.
You're grabbing
bob over the wave.
You're grabbing a boogie board then.
A boogie board, whatever, surfboard is, as long as it's a board, I could do it myself. You know, I got some buoyancy factors to me that will help me. I just think you run to the wave.
I feel, yeah, you'd have to get the undertow would be a bitch.
You might drown.
I haven't figured out.
What do you mean might drown? He said the 10 miles inland is getting covered in water. We're all drowning, Jack. I think, we're just having fun with it at this point.
What a way to go.
Yeah. I can see my house.
Yeah. I don't know. So that brings us to the LA Chargers. Who do you want as your coach? Top three. Okay. Spanos calls you. Says, Justin, listen to your show all the time. That guy, Ollie, is a clown, but you're fucking great. We like the show when you're on and he's not on because it's better that way. We're make believing. So let's go all the way.
Who are my top three choices?
No. Justin, who?
Jim Harbaugh.
Who's our coach?
Jim Harbaugh. And if Jim Harbaugh is not available, Jed Fish.
God, I hate you for saying
slap
that.
you in the face.
It's not going to happen. Jed Fish is not going to be the next head coach of the Chargers. He's not.
No,
it's not happening. They did interview Kellen Moore, their offensive coordinator. Not sure if that's the right call. Kellen Moore just doesn't really strike me as an NFL head coach.
I mean, he might be, but it's just he was on the staff. How did the offense play?
Offense didn't do too well.
Yeah, I mean, I know the defense had its issues, but the offense wasn't great this year either.
Yeah, offense was better under Kellen Moore's direction than Lombardi's direction, but injuries, we didn't really see Kellen Moore have the full deck throughout the whole season, especially Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. I mean, they had so many injuries on that side of the ball. I would love to see Kellen Moore really coach that side of the ball when all these guys are healthy, but it's also the Chargers. They can never stay healthy. So Kellen Moore is getting some love for the job. I also saw that Leslie Frazier, the former defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, he's also getting an interview for the job too. So there are some names being thrown out there, but the big fish, the one that I would want as head coach of the Chargers, just because everything he touches seems to turn to gold. That's Jim Harbaugh.
Okay. If it's not Jim Harbaugh, who is it? Fana says Harbaugh turned us down. He's going somewhere else. We got a second one for me.
A fantasy world, again, if you're just asking me, I'd say Jed Fish. But if I'm like
because you're a fan of Jed?
I'm a big fan of Jed.
Yeah.
I think he's done a great job at Arizona. And he's a really good coach.
He is a really good coach.
Can get a locker room to buy in to what he's saying, even when they're coming into a situation where things are 1-11 and they're on a 20-game losing streak, and they were pretty much screwed by the previous regime. And when you get out of a toxic relationship, normally you're a little gun shy going into the next one. And those players all bought into Jed Fish and his staff and all that. So I think Jed Fish at some point in his career will be a great NFL coach. When that be, I don't think it's anytime soon. But non-Jed Fish guys that I would recommend for the Chargers, man, Bill Belichick,
Not Vrabel, huh?
Mike Vrabel would be one, but I think Mike Vrabel is a Patriots guy and is going to go back to New England.
But if he doesn't, wouldn't Vrabel be great with the Chargers?
Especially he's a defensive guy
And
too.
having a quarterback, you already got a quarterback. I think that job is enticing just because you got Justin Herbert. You don't have to worry about the quarterback, and we can build around him. I think. I mean, if they hire like Ron Rivera, will you just be a Steelers fan then? Yeah, you just done.
I'd be done.
Yeah, got it.
Wow.
I love Ron Rivera.
You heard it here first.
I would seriously think about punting my Chargers fandom, but also like I've made it this far, like I've already gone this far of the pain and misery that they put me through. Might as well endure some more.
There's a law of economics called sunk cost, buddy. Right? Just because I've made so many, I've invested in this and it's been such a disaster. I might as well just keep going with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just cut it off. And I hope if you have kids, you don't make them Charger fans.
No, I won't put that on them.
No, don't make it. So that may mean that you need to change your fandom so that they have a chance. Because they may follow you, man.
He's got a point.
You're their dad.
I just won't wear it around him. I'll watch games by myself.
Little Josiah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, Daddy, who's your favorite team? I'm just a fan of football, son.
And then one day they find a drawer full of all of your powder blue, your bolts and everything. And they're like, no.
Dad, we found your Instagram page.
Buddy, that's when Uncle Ali takes over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a long, successful track record of turning little people into Steelers fans.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to root for a winner in the house.
A little bit because he's still reluctant, but
someone's got to root for a winner in this household. Certainly ain't going to be me.
Someday, dude.
Freaking Chargers.
Someday.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, it's all going to be worth it someday when the Chargers are somehow hoisting a Lombardi trophy. When that day happens, I will shed a tear. And that'll be awesome. Like, I know you've seen your team win multiple Super Bowls, but a team that has been so shitty like the Chargers, for them to finally get to that point, that would make being a fan worth it. Even if it was just a one-time feeling.
You know, there are only 2 teams in the NFL that have never been to the Super Bowl.
They've never been to the Super Bowl.
Never been.
Are the Lions one of them?
They are.
Who's the other one?
Fucking Cleveland Browns.
Oh, man.
Really? Huh.
Who gets there first?
If it's like this choice or Cleveland Browns, it's always the first choice.
Yes. Okay.
And Houston's going to beat them. I mean, Flacco's story is nice and all, but Amari Cooper went off on the on the Texans, like 200 yards receiving. They're going to have a better game plan. They're not going to let Amari Cooper basically devastate them in that game.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
And by the way, go to ESPNTucson.com and fill out your Pigskin Pick'ems presented by Miller Lite and Chico's Smoke Shop. NFL playoffs are officially in full swing, and you can get some prizes from our sponsors. So go to ESPNTucson.com and fill out your Pigskin Pick'ems today. Covered a lot of ground today.
We certainly
A lot
did.
of ocean.
Yeah.
The first video Spears and Ali overtime episode.
Absolutely ridiculous.
One to remember.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
All right, subscribe, rate, and comment. Spears and Ali podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And the video version of Spears and Ali, like Ali said at the start of this thing, this is a new platform that we're going to embrace, and it's going to be our baby. We're going to treat it with care, and we're going to nurture it, and it's going to become a big part of what we do. So appreciate you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys for listening. And as always, tune in 7 to 9 a.m. on ESPN Tucson.
Go Steelers.